Well, I got to get going here. September 2nd, 2017. This is the video for that date, and it's entitled Another Night with Little Restful Sleep. I had a very restless night again. Yes, that seems to be the norm for me these days, with rare exception. I'm not sure what's going on, but more than one of my friends is also sleep challenged at this time. Yes, I do sense there is a lot happening, most of which we know little about. Does this mean positive changes are occurring that will unseat the corrupt powers that have been in charge far too long? One can only hope. I know I do. Let us labor to enter in. Wait a minute, I skipped a line here. An enigmatic Bible verse, Hebrews 4:11, comes to mind. Let us labor to enter into rest. That's the abbreviated version. I guess it means that if we work hard, we will be tired enough to rest. Yet one friend I know works 2 jobs and still has trouble getting sleep. Even one of my grandkids mentioned waking up in the middle of the night and having trouble falling back to sleep. For me, I'd like to see the constant struggle end, not by dying, but by experiencing real transformation of the world in which we live. Will that happen in my lifetime or anytime soon? Indeed, I struggled because so many ideas came through my head. I woke up just past 2 a.m. and at 5 a.m. I was still wide awake. It's insane how much trouble I'm having getting more than 2 or 3 hours sleep many times is all I'm able to get. If I can get 5 or 6 in a row, that is amazing. 8 hours, it's probably been, I don't know how long, decades since I've gotten that much sleep at one time. One of my friends in a recent conversation said, my heart's in a good place, but my head is a mess. Well, this is another issue that comes up. How can the heart be in a good place when the head is chaotic? I mean, they go together for me. My heart and my head are in my body. They're not separate from each other. They're not in 2 different places, even though I can, sometimes in meditation, seem as if I'm going to another place, a more peaceful place. Maybe that's what my friend means. But in any case, it's a challenge to find rest. And even if we work hard, and I've been working all of my life to see the kingdom of heaven manifest on earth. That's my vision, that's my dream, that's my life purpose, my mission, whatever you want to call it. I've lived to actually see positive change for humanity and stop the nonsense of letting criminals run the world, letting demons run the world, whatever you want to call the elite establishment. They do not have the best interest of humanity at heart. They do not. We are an impediment to their illusion of control. I don't think they've ever totally been in control, but they have certainly played a manipulative role in human history and throughout human history. And in our current age, the latter part of the 20th century and now the early part of the 21st century, it seems as if people may be waking up. Now, somebody said, I can't remember exactly. It came to mind, but I'm trying to put it in the words that they used. It's something from, they're quoting something from Osho. And I've listened to a lot of Osho's material, and it's good. A lot of it is good stuff, but it's calling this the illusion. No, this is the reality of our experience. It's not an illusion. It's not some make-believe world. Even if it's not permanent, it's been occurring for a long period of time, which makes it seem permanent, even though we individually may not be the one that experiences the centuries and the multiple centuries and millennia of experience, we nevertheless can tap into what we're told happened. And again, what we're told happened is by those that have been running things. They are it's always the ones in charge that tell the story. And as we see in the United States now, there are many factions that are trying to take out all of the mementos of the Civil War and take down the statues of Robert E. Lee and other of the heroes of America, really. That's not how I was trained, but that's how I see it now. They were right. The North was wrong. And, the America became something that it was not. It did not build on the foundation that was provided for it. As Benjamin Franklin said, when asked, what have you given us? And he says, we've given you a republic, man, if you can keep it. We lost it. By the time Abraham Lincoln was president, we had lost the republic, and the South was trying to preserve it. But they were overridden. Unfortunately, that was one of the bloodiest, that's probably the bloodiest war that ever took place on the North American continent, perhaps in all of the Americas. Now, I think Asia and Europe rather, have experienced more bloody wars than the American continent. But in any case, we have been living in an insane world on a planet run by those who do not have much wisdom. They have a lot of knowledge, but not much wisdom, and they certainly lack love. They certainly lack any spirit of benevolence. They are malevolent beings, whatever they are, whether they're human or demonic or whatever. They seem to be malevolent in intent. And how do we get beyond that? How do we change that? That has been the struggle. My mind is constantly searching for answers and trying to find ways that we can wake each other up, and that we can, instead of fighting each other, start applying our desire for a peaceful world to create ways of manifesting that world. And the first way of manifesting it is the people that have been running it have to be taken out. I can't do that. You can't do that. Together, if there were enough of us together, maybe we could. But as long as they keep us fighting among ourselves and fighting over who's right and which race is right and which religion is right, none of them and all of them, the human race is right. Race by Caucasian or Negro or Asiatic or whatever other title you want to put, or color of skin or whatever, all of that is meaningless. That is what has been used to divide us. It's no wonder that we're not getting restful sleep, because we're in a time where all of these things are coming to the surface. And I guess that means we're supposed to ask ourselves, what are we going to do now? And those that just want to retreat and enter into nothingness, well, nothingness doesn't exist. It hasn't existed for a long time. Somethingness exists. You and I exist. We are here. We have conscious awareness. We need to move from our lower minds or ego self to our higher self. How do we do that? That's the challenge that we're presented with. Will it happen anytime soon? It seems like we have the potential for it to happen, but whether it will or not, I don't know. I do know this. I have more experiences. I had another one last evening, heart attack. I mean, it's arm goes numb and pain in the upper left chest. I mean, it's insane. I want to experience real change so that I can rest. That's my desire. Thank you for listening, and namaste.